For years, we have traded artificial intelligence as a hyper-capable intern, a tool we prompt to help us finish a project a little bit faster. The era of human prompting is ending. McKinsey reports banks are building AI agent factories. Humans input goals, while AI fleets multiply overnight to write and deploy software. This accelerating loop, like OpenAI's Project Strawberry, generates synthetic data to build smarter models without human input. We have automated the people who build the automation, creating a reported 20-fold spike in research and development productivity. When software developers can produce 20 times their normal output, the economics of human labor fracture. Financial institutions are already mapping the damage, labeling it a critical risk scenario. This analysis from Burgos identifies the top of the professional ladder as the primary target for substitution. It specifies that the risk of mass unemployment is highest for expert coders and high-level knowledge workers. If algorithms can replicate expert labor, the basic mechanics of supply and demand in the job market collapse. You end up with a 20/80 society, a minority reaping the rewards of automation, and a majority excluded from the labor market entirely. This creates an economic vacuum. The transition will generate wealth, but the existing system has no mechanism to distribute it. Someone has to write new rules. Recognizing the chaos their tools could unleash, the CEOs building these systems are pivoting from writing software to writing global policy. OpenAI recently published a 13-page document titled Industrial Policy for the Intelligence Age. It serves as their official blueprint for a new social contract. This proposal for robot taxes shifts the national tax base away from human payroll and toward taxing corporate capital gains. These gains flow into a central pool to fund their next idea, a public wealth fund, paying direct, regular dividends to citizens. To compensate for the labor displacement, the blueprint also suggests an efficiency dividend, specifically proposing pilot programs to transition society to a 32-hour workweek. OpenAI's global ambitions explicitly identify massive democracies like India as possessing the talent and scale to become full-stack AI leaders under this new model. On paper, this reads like a seamless, people-first corporate blueprint designed to solve the disruption the tech industry itself created. Beyond the promises of these 13 pages, however, there is a structural omission that undermines the entire premise. Nonprofit leader Dan Kershaw points out that OpenAI's policy document completely erases the nonprofit sector. The blueprint relies on social safety nets to catch displaced workers. But it fails to mention the actual human beings running the food banks, the domestic violence shelters, and the community centers who administer those nets. It asks the social sector to manage the scale of this displacement while starving those same agencies of the funding and AI capacity they need to function. It is impossible to build a functioning blueprint for humanity while ignoring the ground-level institutions that hold humanity together. There is a second blind spot, the assumption that tech companies can safely contain their systems on their own terms. The recent standoff between the firm Anthropic and the Pentagon demonstrates exactly how fragile corporate boundaries can be. The U.S. military threatened to invoke defense production laws to compel Anthropic to drop its ethical restrictions and allow the government full use of its models. The military wants OpenAI and Anthropic to remove their specific red lines against using AI for domestic mass surveillance and the development of fully autonomous weapons. When put to the test, corporate policies are swiftly overridden by the demands of national security. The transition to superintelligence will require a radically new economic contract to prevent society from fracturing. But true resilience means we cannot let the architects of the technology be the sole authors of that contract. Governments, militaries, and the network of social workers have to secure a seat in the room before the ink dries.